What is going on, guys? Well, watch us back again with another live stream for you guys. I've got two special guests on today for the Wolves preview. First of all, we've got YounesTalksFootball. Thank you very much. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thanks for having me on. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Obviously, I'm very, very excited to have you on this channel, of course. And I've got the main man, regular guest, Ads. What's going on, bro?
Bro. I'm all good, bro. What's up?
Good. We're going to be doing a lot more streams, of course. But yeah, everyone that's tuned in, please smash the like button, subscribe if you're new here, hit the notification as always. You can also subscribe to YounesTalksFootball. It's in the title as well. I'm starting to learn these new little things where you can plug it like that. But yeah, let's start with Younes, of course. How are you feeling for this game? You excited? Obviously, we saw the training session. A lot of players are going to be getting chances over the next couple of games. What do you expect overall?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited, man. And I think the squad are excited as well. Obviously, with Tuchel coming in now, I'm sure there's a new buzz of life. There's a new energy. We saw the training session as well. Like, it looks good. You can't read too much into it because it's a training session. But for someone that's been at the club for 45 minutes and then takes a training session, that looked really, really good. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm I'm expecting a good result, if I'm honest, because even when you look historically, whenever we change a manager, there's always a new buzz of life, and the players all of a sudden want to prove themselves to the new gaffer. They want to, try and get their place from the get-go. So I think we're going to see a really big reaction today, especially 100%. Against a Wolf side that we know are dangerous, have beaten us, but haven't been doing very well recently. So us being at home, I'm sure Tuchel wants to hit the ground running straight away. I'm expecting a good result, if I'm honest, regardless of who's playing or what way we play. I just hope we don't fall into the same mistakes that we did, obviously, under Lampard. And maybe Tuchel's rectified a couple of things already. Fingers crossed. But we'll see. I'm excited. I'm excited, and I think everyone else is too.
100%. I mean, have we distinguished whether it's Tuchel or Tuchel yet?
Basically, because I criticised Lampard for this, with Ziyech. So I took it out of the way to make sure I got it correct. There's some places in Germany where they say Tuchel, which is like Tuchel, okay, which is like the correct way. But there's Germans that say Tuchel. So Tuchel, we'll just say Tuchel because the English don't have a weird KH. Like that's gonna get crazy for them. So
100%, man. How you feeling for the game? You've slept on it, of course. We've been speaking to the last 2 or 3 streams. In fact, you ready for tonight?
Man, I'm excited, man. New manager, new start for everyone, bro. I'm excited to see how it goes. But once again, like I was saying on previous streams, I just think like we need to limit our expectations a little bit. I said on the previous streams, I don't think he's gonna come in and work miracles straight away.
He is, bro. He is.
Despite Lampard and the system not being perfect and not fitting the players and not getting the best out of the players haven't been performing well enough themselves, especially in the big games. The minimum we can give is hard work, and in all the big games, they've been outrunning us, outworking us, and that's the basis of football, which the players haven't been given. So I think we should limit our expectations and not judge him in the next few months, let him get his pre-season and then properly judge him for next season when he should be mounting potentially a title charge.
100%. I just want to give a big shout out to all the comments. Basically, we've got CFC Ali showing love to Younes. I started a bit earlier, but Younes and Ads came a bit later, unfortunately. So I apologize.
Lateness is greatness, as Matisse says. So it's all good.
Exactly. We got the Sav, Rocco, Dex. Thanks for all the support, man. And as Wayne said, smash the like button. Look, Younes, it's going to be very, very difficult to try predict the first 11. Of course.
Yeah.
We spoke. Right now about players getting a chance. Maybe not in the first game, but you don't expect to see kepa, Alonso, Christensen maybe starting the first game, do you?
No, not the first game. I think everyone's going to get an opportunity. I think everyone's going to get the equal look in from Tuchel. Obviously, he needs to assess what's in front of him. And, he doesn't know anyone from Adam except for what he's seen on TV. So he needs to look at every single player and look at what players have attributes that's going to suit the system he wants to play. It's as simple as that. So everyone's going to start from an equal playing field, and we'll go from there. But for today, because he's only been here for less than 24 hours, he rocked up at 5 p.m. to Cobham, 6 p.m. he's taken the session, and today he's got a match. So unless if he's done a bit of research beforehand, I think he has to just try and continue or at least bring something over from our last game against Luton, possibly some other games that went well for us, and then try and adapt and change things slowly. I don't think he's going to change everything, all of a sudden. So I'm expecting a similar lineup. But going forward, I think you're going to see chances given to a Jorginho, for example, maybe even Marcos Alonso. Kovacic, I think, will be a fundamental player in his midfield, if I'm being honest. So it's going to be interesting. Maybe even Rudiger. Who knows? But yeah, we'll see. But today, I don't think he's going to change too much. I think we're going to see a familiar lineup. But the way that we play might be
100%.
different.
I mean, he's known for different formations throughout the season. When he was interviewed a couple of years ago, he knew the youth inside out. He named every single player. So I'm sure he has some understanding. I know it's just training. We should look too much into it. I just feel like Marcos Alonso is going to get another chance. I don't know why. I just got a proper feeling. Ads, what formation are you expecting to see today?
That's what's throwing me off completely. I couldn't tell you, bro.
No one knows.
Prediction, bro. Prediction.
Bro, I would just stick with a 4-3-3 because that's what he's most well known for, I'd say. But the last 6 games at PSG, he used a 3-5-2. He's used a 4-2-2-2. He's used so many, a 4-2-3-1. I'm sorry.
Was that coronavirus, fam?
I choked.
There's too many formations.
Yeah, there's too many formations. I couldn't tell you, bro. But either a 4-2-3-1 and a 4-3-3, I'm guessing. To be honest, similarly to what Younes said, we don't know what he's going to go with, but I'd guess that he just go off Joe Edwards' and Anthony Barry's advice for tonight.
Exactly.
Whatever they're telling him. And then after 3-4 games, we'd probably see his philosophy being implemented in the team and his favourite players and etc. But I'm just guessing for tonight, Anthony Barry and Joe Edwards would tell him what's best and how the players have been performing recently. And then he'd go off that probably.
No, well said. I mean, those guys stayed, of course. Jody Morris, Frank Lampard gave their statements. Thankful for the job and stuff. It's been a crazy 72 hours. Rudiger, of course, got a lot of support from Azpi, Drogba, Tammy. Very, very quickly, Younes, what's your take on all of that, basically, from the start to the end?
I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it. I knew, like, I think there's truth in it, which has been blown way out of proportion. Like, for example, the clashes between maybe Rudiger and Azpi. Come on, that happens at every single football club on the planet, man. If you've played football, you'd know. You would have been in those clashes. But then after a 2-hour training session, you might not be speaking to him. Next time you meet up, yo, what's going on? You right? Yeah, good. And then you get on with it. It's as simple as that. Like, so clashes may have happened. Heated arguments may have happened. Absolutely. But the allegation about Rudiger bullying younger players, some players actively going to the board and all of this and trying to get the manager sacked. Come on.
Yeah.
I think the realistic situation is manager looked out of his depth. There were key things that he'd lost control of tactically, what man management. There were reports that said that he hadn't spoken to some players in months. It's ridiculous in terms of, like, what those players are going to do in training on the pitch, this, that, and the other. So I think it's just people looking for scapegoats. People looking for the excuse to try and protect Lampard's image. It's as simple as that. And this isn't against Lampard. I'm just saying we all knew from the beginning he might not be ready. And that's just the truth. He just wasn't ready. So I wish him the best. I hope he can learn elsewhere and pick up that experience and then come back. But in terms of the players like Rudiger, Kovacic, these guys faced mad abuse on social media. Kovacic's wife got threatened. I mean, it's mental. It's mental. So it's nice to see Tammy Abraham come out the way he did, especially for that allegation about Rudiger bullying young players, because we've seen Hudson-Odoi speak very highly of him and called him a big brother. We've seen Mason Mount just last week speak highly of him and joked about him. We've seen Tammy Abraham come out. We've seen Tomori call him uncle. Which youth player is it he's been bullying? Someone fill me in, because it doesn't look like it. It's mad. So yeah, we saw Didier come out. Yes, there might be an element of PR to it in terms of players talking to each other and going, look, we need to say something. But what Liam Twomey came out and said yesterday, which was key, was that if no one has said anything, this could be dangerous. You know, so if a Tammy didn't come out with a statement on Twitter saying this is ridiculous, then speculation would just keep rising. So, you know, it could be an attempt by some players to go, no, I need to say something. This is getting stupid. Rather than what people think, saying, oh, no, it's the club telling the players, oh, you do this, come on, PR. No, come on, no. So I'm glad it's been, you know, sorted. It seems like, you know, players have come out, Aspie's come out, Didier, as I've said, has supported them. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, I mean, every time there's a sacking, it's just toxic, man. Like, now it just feels a lot more worse than what we saw with the Costa and the Hazard days when Mourinho got sacked the second time. Obviously, we weren't on social media as much as we are now, but I'm telling you, it would have been a lot more crazier. Ads, what was your initial take on that? I think you were backing it anyway, saying you don't believe it.
Yeah, me and you on the streams, we were saying that we don't believe it, because how did it go from within a couple of weeks of Rudiger being a leader in the dressing room and a great character for the young players and a role model, etc. Lampard coming out saying the leader in the dressing room, and then as soon as Lampard's sacked, he's a bully, he's fighting on a training ground, and I don't know. I took everything with a pinch of salt, because it was a bit weird to me that a million stories came out on the day of Lampard getting sacked, but we didn't hear nothing about it before this. So I took a pinch of salt with it. And I didn't believe it. And I think Rudiger, all these young players have spoken about how he's a role model, man. I don't think there's a problem within the club. Similarly, years ago, Matt Law reported that Diego Costa and Oscar had a fight on the training ground, and then Oscar tweeted, oh, I don't know what this guy's talking about. Me and Diego Costa have never fought. So I didn't buy it for a second, to be honest, man. I agree with what Younes said, to me.
Also, I want to point out with Rudiger, make it make sense, because if Rudiger's such a problem and he's, you know, if these allegations were true, right? As a manager, would you pick him to play against Fulham, right? And then immediately after that, you know your job is on the line because you lost to Manchester City and the Fulham performance wasn't convincing. You've got a fit Zuma now on the bench. You're going to play Rudiger to save you your job. If he's that much of a problem, that's like me being a head chef, and I see my sous chef doesn't know what he's doing. He's causing me all sorts of problems. I've got one more service to save my job. If not, the restaurant owner's going to fire me. And I go to that sous chef and go, yeah, you know, I'm going to trust you to save my service. No, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So honestly, it's baffling. We saw Rudiger play against Leicester. He played 90. And the excuse some people are coming out with is, you know, Lampard had his hand forced, that he gave in to pressure from the board. If he gave in to pressure from the board, he shouldn't be in management in the first place. If you don't have the control to say, no, I'm picking the players, you've got nothing to do with this, you shouldn't be in management. Simple as that. You know, but I don't buy it. Come on, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, man.
100%. I mean, nothing makes sense in the last couple of weeks. Oh, we expected it. Don't get me wrong, we expected it. But the way the journalists have come out, the way other accounts have come out and said certain things, nothing adds up. You know, it's worrying. Fully right.
It's worrying because it's come from accounts that normally have reliable information, and these are guys that normally come out and give you the lowdown on what's really going on. But now it's clear that. Have they got agendas? Have they been fed wrong information? Has an insider given them wrong information? It's mad. We don't know.
I mean, the accounts that I see, it's like they get the right information on the lineups and stuff, the team news, the youth and stuff like that. But in terms of these things, this is huge. Like these are huge things. The manager's been sacked. You know, you're putting your rep on the line if you're saying the wrong things. Of course, journalists have got it wrong as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens from here. Let's talk about the fourth kit very, very quickly. Ads, what's your take on that whilst I pull up the picture for the fourth kit, man? You've seen it, right?
Yeah, I've seen it. I don't know where it came from, really. It's all right, but it's not to be worn, is it? It's not to be worn in games, I don't think. I don't think so. Yeah, it's just to be sold. It's just one of these kits. Nike made it with Spurs. They made it with a couple other clubs as well. I think it's just to be sold, but yeah, it's all right.
Share the screen quickly. Bear with me. This is like new to me. Younes, what's your take on that as well, man?
I mean, you know, with our third kit, we took Crystal Palace's home kit, and now we're taking their away kit. I mean, look at that. that's Palace in a nutshell. But, I like it. I like it, but I'm glad it's not being worn on the pitch. It's just, you know, just casual wear or something that you can just buy to just wear. You know, it looks nice. It looks nice.
Yeah. He looks like an uncle there, with the jacket on as well.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Yeah. 100%. But yeah, that was very. I'm not going to be buying that. Are you going to be buying that, you lot, Younes? That's.
Nah.
Did you not buy anything this season? Like any of the kits this season?
No, just the training.
Yeah. I got the home kit. My dad's got the away kit, and I got this.
Oh, you got that one's nice, but that's probably Lampard's one, isn't it? How much was that one?
Oh, what was it? 40, I think. I think it was 40.
Oh, you got a nice discount, probably. That's what you got in it.
I really didn't. I really didn't. Full price.
Look, hudson-odoi. According to reports, I've spoken to ads about it already, but I want to hear your thoughts. Hudson-odoi, Tuchel is probably a big fan of him. I know we've heard it before from different managers. Yeah. But hopefully he features a lot more. You agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Hudson-odoi, we know, has been admired by a lot of Germans, Bayern Munich included. So I'm not surprised. But yeah, we'll see what happens, because obviously he needs to. We don't know what Tuchel's going to do. This is the truth. We don't know how he's going to manage the squad. We don't know how much he's going to rotate. We don't know what positions he's going to throw players in. He might change a few things up. We don't know. So the fact that there's Pulisic, who we know is going to play, Ziyech, who is a key player now, we know this, and I think is going to come out of his shell even more under Tuchel, because we're not just crossing and spamming anymore. I think we're going to see him cut inside a lot. We're going to see him occupy central areas a lot more than he was before. So, but with that, Hudson-odoi, I think, is going to get definitely a big look in. We'll see what happens. Whether it's going to be rotation or whether Hudson-odoi can get into the starting lineup, time will tell.
Yeah. I mean, the most important thing for me is to see the next gear for the likes of Hudson-odoi and Pulisic, because the project restart, when I saw Pulisic score against Man City, I felt he was on top of his form there. But coming back from injury, I don't feel he's been the same player personally. And I feel like this manager now is going to be giving him that confidence to push on. Same with Hudson-odoi. Obviously, we don't know the starting lineup. Maybe Hakan Ziyech might be playing in the middle, depending on the formation. These are the things that we have to basically look at. Ads, obviously, I've spoken to you about Hudson-odoi, but Pulisic, what are you expecting from him this season?
Pulisic, like you said, man, he needs to go up another gear, man, because since he's come back this season, obviously he's been playing throughout injuries, and he's been coming in and out of the team. But to be honest, he just hasn't been the same, has he? He tries to dribble with the ball too much. Sometimes he dribbles with his head down and doesn't look for the correct option. I mean, it's just not the same Pulisic that we've seen last year. But like I was saying to you yesterday, I was telling you about how Tuchel's been speaking about how he likes his players in the front third to attack. He just lets them express themselves. He wants them to get on the ball and then not have any pressure about what's going on behind them or in front. He just wants them to do like what they would do from their own instincts, innit? So collect the ball, beat their man, get shots on target. And I think this is going to strike some new confidence in all of our attacking three. Like I was telling you yesterday, I think we're going to see a new Ziyech, because right now we've been seeing Ziyech out wide, cutting inside, whipping balls in. But now we want to see him dropping more in the central areas, taking more shots, being more creative from the centre. We don't want to see him just out wide hugging the touchline. That's not what Ziyech's about, is he? We want to see him what he was doing at Ajax. So yeah, I think the fact that Tuchel will let his front three be expressive in the final third, I think it will boost confidence in all of them. But now I just think it's about creating the right balance, not just doing what Lampard done and Pulisic and Ziyech are playing the best. So then we'll leave Hudson-odoi out. We'll run Ziyech and Pulisic into the ground, and then when there's an injury, we'll let Hudson-odoi play, or we'll put Werner on the wing. No, it's not about that. It's about having good man in management. And one thing about Lampard, which I didn't like, we all thought he had better man management than he did, didn't we? And that's one thing I was disappointed with Lampard about. So it's all about creating the right balance between the wingers and getting the best out of your squad, and not just leaving some fringe players on the sideline, letting Hudson-odoi score in the Champions League and leaving them out of the squad in the next match day. That doesn't make sense, man. You need to incorporate everyone and give everyone the right playing time.
Well, boy, my lads went in. Man went in, fam. Crazy. I rate that. Obviously, a couple shots suggested, obviously, but I clocked that. But look, we spoke about predictions. Obviously, Ad said 3-1. Tammy, Pulisic scoring. Younes, I know it's difficult to. Obviously, we don't know the lineup and tactics and stuff, but what are you expecting? Are you expecting a clean sheet? Are you expecting a tight result? Are you
No, I went with 3-1 in my preview. So, yeah, I reckon 3-1 as well. I think Wolves will score because we're still not, I can't expect Tuchel to work a miracle in our defence. And all of a sudden, we're just going to become concrete. I don't think that. So I think we could concede. But as I've said, I think a lot of players are going to try and prove a point tonight. So I think we're going to see a lot of attacking, a lot of energy, and a lot of high intensity, which is what we've been lacking. It's as simple as that. That basic was gone. So now we'll get that back. I think we'll score. I think we'll score about 3. So I'm going 3-1 as well. I'm looking for key performances as well. Maybe not just today, but going forward. Werner and Havertz, I think, are going to be instrumental to us now, especially under Tuchel. I think he's going to try and evolve the team around. Well, evolve the team going forward around those two in the central areas mainly. So yeah, let's look forward to seeing how they both develop as well.
No, I agree with you. I mean, I'm sure the board probably stressed to the manager when interviewing, of course, and signed the thing to get the best out of Kai Havertz and Timo Werner. We found out that they were most likely board signings. Only 1 out of 6 signings that we made was Lampard's, and that was Ben Chilwell, which was a bit of a surprise to me. So I'm hoping to see the best out of them, but it's going to be a very, very interesting question and scenes to see whether Mason Mount and Havertz play together or they're going to be rotating. This is the difficult bit about this entire squad. We've got such a massive squad. Obviously, the pandemic today, anything can happen. People can get ill. We'll need all these players. People are saying sell some of these players under Lampard, but I feel like we couldn't because, the worst case scenario, we need these players. Like, imagine Petr Cech has been registered now. Imagine something happened to goalkeepers. We needed him. So I didn't think we could sell every single player that everyone wanted out, like the likes of Alonso and stuff like that. Emerson, Giroud, fantastic professionalism. They didn't complain once. I didn't see no, reports about them. I didn't see nothing bad about them. So, they got my respect. I'm sure they got your respect as well. But what's your take on Kante, Younes? Obviously, there's talks about him being unsettled, with all the political sides, what's happening at the club. And obviously, in recent years, he's been interested in a move away. Do we still need him at this club?
Yeah, but look, if it were me, I'd go to Kante. I'd put my arm around him and I'd go, "Look, mate, you're at Chelsea." It's as simple as that. This is what we do at this club. But no, I feel sorry for Kante because he hasn't been playing and he's just seeing all of this going around him, I'm sure. And he's just like, "Oh my God, this is nuts." And he can't do anything about it because he's not on the pitch. So yeah, the last time he played, we hadn't even lost to Leicester, and now he's coming in. If against Burnley, I'm expecting he'll be fit for, and now he's playing under Tuchel. Like, it's going to be mad. But Kante is very, very professional. We know this, and one of the nicest guys you can come across. So I'm sure that Tuchel, who we know is a very good man manager, someone that knows how to get players on side, I think, it won't take much effort to get Kante on board. If he is feeling a little bit unsettled or if he's got any concerns, I think Tuchel will squash them immediately. But it's going to be interesting to see how he manages his midfield, because not just Kante, but we know Kante is instrumental to our midfield. But there's Jorginho, there's Kovacic, there's Mason Mount, there's Kai Havertz,
Billy Gilmore.
Billy Gilmore. It's mad. How is Tuchel going to manage this midfield? You're going to see names missing. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But when Kante comes back and he's fully fit, I think he walks into the midfield. There's no way Tuchel won't play him. So I think he'll be fine.
100%. I mean, look, I was going to say, Kante under Frank Lampard, I felt obviously he wasn't on the best of forms, but I feel like, could you have done it alone in that lone DM role? I don't think that's his position. And I feel like, not in a scapegoat way, but he's been taking a lot of abuse from some people in terms of not good enough for Chelsea anymore. And I feel like he's still the best player at this club, regardless of, in terms of the experience, the ability that he can bring to this squad. I feel like he's such an important player that people considering to take that 90 million last year. I don't know if you remember the reports, Younes, that when we was doing our videos, of course. Yeah. And for him to go, I don't feel like people understand how serious long-term is, because they're saying Billy Gilmore's already ready. He should be playing after a few games. He should be playing every single game. I think people forget it's younger than 20. It's crazy like how expectations are so high for certain players. That's why players don't do as well as we expect them to do. Obviously, Billy Gilmore is subjected to maybe going out on loan as well. And what's your take on that?
On Kante or the Gilmore loan?
We'll go with both. Obviously, go on Gilmore's loan first, and then end up with Kante. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, with Gilmore, the guys showed really, really good glimpses, but the only problem with me is fitting him into the system. Because similarly to some players at the club, I'm not sure if Gilmore would be best in a base of midfield by himself. Yeah. So when people were calling for him to start against Leicester and etc., I was like, was it really going to make a difference to the result? If we're being honest here, like, I don't know if it would. But Gilmore, I mean, I would preferably you'd keep him, wouldn't you? And then hopefully find a way to play him in your system in a pivot, because that's where I think he'd work best. But if it means that Tuchel told him, listen, it'd be more valuable for you to go to a good level side, get some experience, get some minutes, come back in the summer, fight through pre-season, and then you've got a chance in the Premier League next year, then it makes more sense. So it's all down to what Tuchel thinks, really, and what he has plans for Gilmore. As for Kante, similarly to Gilmore, he needs a partner, man. The man needs a partner. Like you were saying under Lampard, Kante hasn't been the same Kante under Lampard, has he? Because you put him in the base of midfield, and then you put those two attacking eights, and then you're giving him way too much responsibility. You've got the man defending counter-attacks by himself sometimes. Exactly. I mean, it's just way too much responsibility for someone at the end of the day who is aging on. Although he can still run and whatever, he is aging on. And I think that we need a partner next to him to help him progress the ball, because he receives the ball from the defense, and usually he just looks for the wide options. He doesn't look for those like penetrative passes through the middle. Therefore, Mount and Havertz or Kovacic will have to come deeper to collect the ball. It takes us longer to transition the ball up the pitch, and then it's just a longer story to attack. So I think Kante needs a player next to him. He can do the dirty work. The other guy can maybe progress the ball. So I thought, despite what the club thinks, I think Declan Rice would have been a good signing for Chelsea. I think he would have solidified that midfield and given Kante a perfect partner like we had in Matic. So obviously,
there's better players out there though, man, and for cheaper as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, if you want to take the price into consideration, but the way I see price, it's not my money, so I don't care.
That is true. It's true. It's going to be interesting to see how. I just want to see how we're going to be playing today, man. I think that's what we were waiting for. 6 p.m. kickoff as well. Very, very annoying timing.
That lineup is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, are we the only team playing at 6, Younes?
No, there is another game that no one's going to watch.
Villa, I think.
I think so. I think it is.
Oh, we have to watch it though. Villa obviously ahead of us, and they got
Burnley versus Villa. No one's watching Burnley versus Villa today. That numbers are going to be tiny, maybe. But some Burnley fans, some Villa fans might even come watch Chelsea instead.
No, 100%. I mean, Arsenal ahead of us, Younes, man. Arsenal Football Club are ahead of us. They were like 9 points behind. We were talking about relegation battle for them. They've gone ahead of us. I know we've got a game in hand, but it's just crazy to see Arsenal come back, bounce back. I don't know if it's a bit of form that they got, and now they're going to be dropping points again. But they did turn up. Unfortunately, under Lampard, we didn't really turn up. The players looked lost. We couldn't even string 2 passes forward, in my opinion. But what I've seen in training is first touch football, 1 touch, passing forward. I know it's just training, but I'm hoping to see that on the pitch. Don't you agree, Younes? In terms of, all we saw was sideways and backwards passing, bro. I didn't understand it.
Yeah, there was no solution. I'm not saying don't pass sideways or don't go backwards. You have to. Like, there are times where you have to. There's no option. Cool. But you need to try and create a solution for yourself. You need to try and come up with another way in order to get players in those half spaces and, make them aware and get them moving for each other. There was no movement. Everyone was static, especially our midfield. It looked dead. So our only alternative is to go to the wings and to the fullbacks. That's it's logical. When you've got a player and you see there's no option in front of you, no one's moving. All right, cool. Who's on my side? Who's not marked? Cool. I'll pass to the side. If there's no one in front of them, I'll go backwards. That's what we were left with. But it didn't seem like Lampard knew what to do. If we're being honest, it doesn't seem like he knew how to get the players moving.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is though, there was so many opportunities where Reece, Chilwell could have passed forward, bro. Like Kovacic could have passed forward.
Yeah.
And they didn't pass. And I just don't understand whether it's their confidence or whether it's manager, instructing them to hold and control the ball, bro. Like
this is the thing. If we're seeing it as fans, and these players have the option at times and they're not taking it, that's Lampard's job to let them know.
But I think that comes with confidence as well, because obviously when you're you're seeing a long run by Hudson-Odoi, you're gonna be like, bang, I'm playing that ball. Even if it doesn't go through, I have the confidence to play through. I'll win the ball back, whatever. But when you're low on confidence, it's more about just keeping the ball. So you stay confident, or you build up as much confidence as you can. You know what I'm saying? But when you're low in it, it's difficult, man. It's a mentality thing, man. You find it more difficult to play those passes. If you played football before, like you know, in it, it's just like,
some of them are simple
absolutely.
passes, though. Some of them are simple passes, G.
No, the simple ones. But I'm saying the ones where like Hudson-Odoi, Tammy are making runs off the shoulder. Like when you're low on confidence, your first thought's not going to be bang and you spray that over the top, because you're not thinking about that kind of things.
No, 100. It was snowing 2 days ago in my area. I don't know about your area, Younes.
Yeah, it was, and then it all disappeared. So yeah.
Did you have a lot of snow though?
It was loads. It was loads. Yeah, I drove in it. Like I was late to my watch along, and I drove in it. I found it so hard. I nearly like slipped and skidded. It was mad. But yeah,
fam, there's so many cycle lanes out there, bus lanes. I can't believe what they're doing. I think this is all stunt, all this pandemic stuff, and all these works on the road. Nothing adds up, man. I'm telling you. One more thing in terms of Wolves. Obviously, the last time they beat us, I know they weren't on good form, but every time we turn up, they get some tax against us. Like they start turning up against us, they get the win. I don't know whether it's just mentality issues or not. I'm hoping Tuchel, just changes it up. I need to get used to that. 100%. I need to get used to that. But I just want to. What do you make of Giroud and Tammy Abraham, Younes? Do you think Giroud will still feature a lot more? Because we have 3 strikers. You might see Havertz as a false 9, as a second striker or something. We don't know. But Giroud, Tammy, there's a lot of strikers at this club, no? Timo Werner.
I mean, yeah, there's 3 of them, and I think obviously with competitions, we will see rotation. We will see Giroud play some games where we need experience. I think that's going to be crucial. But I think it depends on Timo Werner.
Yes.
We only went to Olivier Giroud under Lamps because we knew Timo started to struggle, and we were like, okay, we need to do something. We know Giroud can put himself in a situation and create something from nothing. So, and he done just that. So this is where, we all started to think, clearly Lampard was starting to think, okay, I need to rely on Giroud a little bit more. But if Timo starts firing, and if Tuchel can get the best out of Timo, that will see less game time for Giroud. But I think even in situations where we need an experienced head, or we need someone to come in and offer a little bit more stability up top, we will see Giroud come on. With Tammy, it's going to be interesting if Tuchel does decide to go to a front 2. I think at those times you could see Tammy get involved a little bit more. But at the moment, it's all ifs and buts. We'll see. Obviously, having 3 strikers is the perfect amount. And I think Giroud at the end of the season could be on his way out. So that will open the door for a new striker to come in, maybe Haaland. We'll wait and see what happens. Maybe. Bro, it would make sense under Tuchel now. It would make sense. So, yeah, we'll see. But Giroud, Tammy, and Werner, I think all of them are going to play a part. We've still got Champions League, we've still got FA Cup, and we've still got to fight for in the Premier League. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened outside of Stamford Bridge today. I saw a few comments. I saw a few tweets.
Was dumb.
What was it? Sorry, what was it?
You know the bridge. Yeah, so you're going to be perfect. Not Millennium Gate, not Britannia Gate. In the middle, there's that little gate where like delivery lorries go through. Yeah. That little gate, someone put a banner going "Circus continues," and then let off 2 blue flares, and then left it and then put it on the ground so there's blue smoke, and he left.
This morning.
Yeah.
Wow.
just a banner with like blue paint or whatever. It says "Circus continues," and it was tied from one end of the gate to the other end of the gate. But again, it's the gate that no one uses. Obviously, it's on the main road. But if you want to make a statement, or unless if he tried and he failed. But if you want to make a statement, go and do that at Millennium Gate or Britannia Gate. You can't.
That's what I'm saying. I hope you're satisfied. I hope you're satisfied by that, man.
Exactly.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I thought it was fake. I genuinely thought it was fake, fam.
Nah, bro, I guarantee Roman probably looking at that going, "Oh, you're odd."
100%. Younes, what's your expectations for this season, for the remaining part of the season? And also, just very quickly before you answer that, Ad said in one of my streams before that he thinks Tammy is overall better than Giroud. I want to know your opinions. Who's better and why?
No, I mean, if we're talking, it depends. It depends on attribute, man. There are things that Giroud's better at, and there's things that I think Tammy's better at. But if obviously we're looking for our future or our long term, we know Giroud isn't going to go past this season. So focus should be on Tammy, regardless, even if Giroud is the better striker. But I think if you're looking for composure, if you're looking for someone that's physical, that's got loads of defenders around him but can still power through, you want a Giroud. Someone that's good in the air, you want a Giroud. If you want someone that can come deep, that has energy and pace, that can link up with wingers and get into the box, you're looking at Tammy. If you're looking for someone that can get in and around defenders, both. It's there are attributes. So in the long run, you have to give focus on Tammy. But I'd count on both. Right now, I'd count on both.
Yeah. And your expectations, me and Az are saying top 4 at least. Many people are saying top 3 still, man. I don't know how.
Mate, I read a report. It was from Jacob Steinberg, if I'm not mistaken. The Guardian. I don't know how this information got to him. I think he's stretching a little bit, if I'm honest. But that Tuchel is going to try and compete for the title this season. And I'm like, yo, I like the ambition, but no. I think mathematically it's possible, but let's have it right, man. Like that'd be stretching. However, if we're aiming for that, sometimes they say aim higher than you reckon you can make. So then you do end up in a position where you are satisfied. Because if you aim too low, then you might fall off and fail. So top 4, is still where we need to be. 100%.
100%.
It's not out of reach. As long as we don't lose games and others do, which isn't the situation you want to be in, but it's where we are. So top 4. But I think now, much like we've seen in previous seasons, I think the cup competitions we might have some decent runs, including the Champions League now, because
I'm hoping.
Atletico are different beasts, and the way that we were going, I had no confidence in the way that we were playing. So I thought we'd get destroyed. But if now there's a new energy and there's new tactics and there's new instructions and we can get something clicking, who knows what we can do? Who knows?
100%.
We saw it in 2012. That's what I'm going to say.
2012. Crazy. Might see a Feroz 17 part 2. Who knows? Ads, obviously you said top 4, but you said a trophy as well, right?
No, I said I'd be more than happy with top 4, bro. To be honest, I'd be more than happy with top 4. Especially with the Champions League, I don't have too many expectations. We all know that the experience that Atletico Madrid have in the competition, man. They've faced all the big boys before and they've all beaten them. We're a young, inexperienced side. We've seen it in the big games this season, the decision making by some of our young players. So whatever happens in that game happens. Of course, we could still beat them. We have the quality in our team. I think we have a better team than them and a better squad than them. But those boys are experienced, man. It's not going to be an easy job at all. It'll be a very big test for Tuchel. But regardless of that result, that's not our main priority, I'd say. I'd say our main priority is to get top 4 and then potentially go on a FA Cup run as well.
Yeah, I'm hoping we try and get that FA Cup, man. Reggae_thoughts, thanks for the donation, bro. Nobody remembers Giroud. Bad games where he's doing nothing and slowing down attacks. The inverse happens for Tammy. No one remembers his good games. It's a bit... I don't know if I agree with that personally. Obviously, Tammy scores when he's needed, in my opinion, and I do feel he gets the credit for it, no? Guys?
Yeah, I feel he gets credit. Obviously, as I've said, other things that he can work on. Absolutely, other things that negative that Giroud has. Absolutely, he's not the perfect striker, which is why I'm saying I think there's going to be a reliance on Werner to start kicking, because if he does, then the other two are going to be secondary. So, I think there's a good balance between them. I don't think there's anyone stretching. There might be a few fans that stretch because they have their favourites. That's normal. That's going to be expected. But yeah, I think both of them have qualities. Both have qualities.
You agree with that, Ads, as well? Anything to add on that?
I don't know. With the whole Giroud and Tammy thing, I just think it's more of, regardless of who's a better player or not, we've got to look at who fits the system better.
Exactly.
And when we're looking at a high-intensity system, a system that has to fit to play in a Premier League right now, you need to see more of a modern-day striker, a striker that will come deep to collect, win his aerial duels, run the channels, make space for the inside forwards, then get himself into the box with pace, press, and these are all attributes that I think Tammy has over Giroud. Because if you look at Giroud, he's not mobile at all. He stays in his position. He can't run the channels. And especially on the Lampard system, there's not much going through the middle. So he wasn't even able to show his hold-off and link-up ability. It was more about him just getting in the box. And in that sense, I think that the only thing that he has over Tammy, or at least in Lampard's system, we'll see with Tuchel's, was that he's got the striker's instinct in the box and he's clinical in the box. But Tammy runs the channels, he presses, he comes deep to collect, he turns his man, he pins his man. And these are all things that he has. He wins his aerial duels. I'm not saying he wins his headers in the box, but I'm saying when he goes up against the defender, the ball's lofted in the air, he wins his duels. So I think if you're looking at a modern day striker, I just think he's above Giroud in a pecking order for the system that we're trying to play with.
No, 100%, man. 100%. I mean, it's interesting, man. I just want Chelsea to bounce back. Obviously, there was no real tactics under Frank Lampard. That was my worry. I do want Tammy to do well. I told you as well, Ads. I felt like, I know you pointed it out already, but in the box, I just feel he needs to be a bit more of a poacher. He needs to get into that box, try get it in straight away, try improve his heading. I felt like, I think you made the point in terms of if the cross comes like in the air rather than straight at you, he's good at heading that. But when it comes straight at you, he's not as good and effective. I thought maybe because it's quite tall, he should be quite good at that. But maybe he needs to improve at the same time, man. But we shall see what happens.
There's a thing with Tammy as well, really quickly. I think there's two things. If he can work on not being so heavy-footed, and if he can bolster himself physically, because he's a tall lad. If he bolstered himself just a little bit more physically, turn into an absolute beast. Like, it would be really hard to take him off the ball. And then that, I think, would help him gain a little bit more time on the ball, rather than, we see sometimes how he can fluster himself. If he just works on that, but that comes with experience, I think. So, yeah.
100%. I mean, obviously, there's talks about his long-term contract as well. He has. I think they extended it for a season. I don't know how long he has left at the moment. But obviously, with Haaland coming in, what does that mean? I mean, we're going to have Timo Werner, we're going to have Tammy. Giroud will probably leave, I think. And then Haaland. So Tammy should think about it. It's a long season. We should have over 50 games. There's a lot of opportunities for all players, really. So I don't know why he wouldn't sign the contract. Do you think otherwise, guys?
No, and to be honest, if Haaland did come in, I mean, Tammy's older than Haaland, so it's not like you have that excuse. Mate, he's younger than you. Work for it. Work hard. Simple. Try and get there. And I think it will be a level playing field. So it would be good for him. And as I said, even as long as we have three strikers, all of them will be used. I don't think there's going to be one that's just going to be shut off. You can't. Not in today's age. You can't.
100%. As obviously we spoke about Marquinhos yesterday. Are you expecting a lot of players to leave? Not this window, but in the summer.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you? You'd hope so. Likes of
whether it's on loan or official bids, though, man.
Yeah, that's the whole problem. Like in the summer, we did try to offload the Rudigers and Jorginhos, etc., Alonso's. We've been trying for a while, even Emerson's, but everyone's coming in with these loan bids with option to buys, and we know with these option to buys, they rarely get triggered. Look how many times Bakayoko's gone on loan with option to buy, and he still hasn't been bought yet. I mean, obviously, it'd be the best for us to get rid of them. These men are just taking up our wage bill, to be honest. They're not even playing too much football. But then again, everyone gets a new opportunity under Tuchel, innit? We reassess at the end of the season based on performances from now until the end, and then we'll see. We have to reevaluate at the end, because what if Jorginho comes in the team, he starts playing good, Rudiger comes in the team, starts playing good? You never know, man. It just depends on how the system favors these players and whether they start playing well between now and the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to see, man. What about the likes of Michi, Barkley, the ones that are currently on loan right now? You think they're 100% gone? What about Conor Gallagher coming back from loan? What about these players that we thought might have a future here. What do you think of them?
We're stacked.
That's what I'm saying. With the Batshuayis and the Barclays, I mean, it's about time that we make some profit off these guys, man. I'm sure Aston Villa will end up coming in with a official bid for Barkley because he's been good for them this season and they could do with him. And although I would have liked to keep him this season as another option, let's just be real about him. And we've got too many coming through, especially in the midfield, and it's just not going to work. So the likes of Barclays and Batshuayis, I hope he can get them gone in because they've just been on our contracts for too long now without any real game time.
Yeah, 100%. Being that it's quite difficult to kind of guess the lineup, right, guys? We can't guess it. We don't know how he's going to be playing. We don't know what formation. Maybe Thiago Silva will play. I think that's the only guy I can confirm that will play. Maybe.
No.
Thiago Silva, Pulisic, definitely in the starting 11. But that's all I can say. That's all I can say.
Pulisic is injured though. Pulisic is injured.
Oh, Pulisic injured.
Is he? I didn't know how deep it was because he trained yesterday. So
that's what I was saying.
I'm saying it's just there's too much speculation around it right now. No one's 100%.
Mate, look, we've had too much speculation over the last 24 hours. I'm just gonna wait and see what happens.
How does a report come out saying he's doubtful, he's out, and then I see him training with the manager?
He's next to Tuchel, like he was next to him, bro. Like, I don't know.
Maybe it was light training. Who knows? Maybe it was light training. But
Could be.
if he is doubtful, if he has any issues, I don't want him to play. Okay, because I want this guy to last as long as possible. Because before this last injury, he wasn't lasting 4 games. He kept getting injured after 4 games. This is the first time that he stayed longer. But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping we just get a win. I don't care if it's not a clean sheet. I just want to see a win come in 100%. Let's read some of the questions before we wrap it up. Guys, drop your questions in. If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you subscribe to YounesTalksFootball in the title as well. What we got here? I mean, Younes, very, very quickly, I'm not going to mention names and stuff, but, you know, some videos on, you know, going at the board after the second.
Oh man. Yeah, I know who you're on about. It's ridiculous. Let's just put it this way: we didn't see that energy on the Sarri.
That's it. I think we'll leave it there. I think we'll leave it there. We're just picking and choosing.
And I'm worried that's going to carry over onto Tuchel. You know. But let's hope not. Yeah, I mean, before the manager second, the Wolves guys must have been so excited for the game, thinking, yeah, we're going to get one over these guys, and now they don't know what to be expecting with the new manager. Of course, it's going to be interesting. What else we got here? I'm trying to see what question we can answer very, very quickly. Yeah, I agree, Deep. That's what we're saying. Pulisic was right next to him. Anyone count how many times I said 100%? Probably 20 times. Guys, I don't see any more questions, man. We've got over 580 people tuned in. Drop your questions in, man. Let's see as many questions as possible. Throw them in. This is your chance, lads.
This is your chance. You're so excited to see Werner on the Tuchel. Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Big time. As I've said, all of these players that we've seen slightly misfiring or haven't shown potential yet. With Werner and Havertz especially, I think we're going to see the best of them next season. The Premier League is really hard to adapt to, and especially for a Havertz, where you can see it's more of a physical thing. With Werner, it's a mental thing, where he's just not finishing, and it's kind of got to his head, even though he's playing well. But with Havertz, you can tell maybe it's a physical thing. And next season, if he can get a good pre-season and work on really bolstering himself up, I think we'll see something really, really good for him. So I have no doubts. And it goes back to that previous point we made about a certain someone talking who decided to blame Werner and Havertz for everything. Time will tell, and we'll see what happens with those two, because I have full faith in them.
100%. There you go. I said it again. Ads, I know we spoke about the 18th month contract. Is this a very, very good deal for Chelsea, especially with the managers that have been second recently?
Yeah, man. I think Chelsea have just put this in for precaution, to be honest, because recently with the Conte, Sarri's, Lampard, we're putting these guys on quite long contracts, and then it's ending a year or two before their contract expires. And then we're paying these guys millions to buy out their contract and finish it off. So with an 18-month contract with a year to extend, it's just the safe option. For once, Chelsea's gone with a safe option. If he delivers in the 18 months, give him the year, give him whatever, give him another 2-3 years, but then see how it goes. But it's very good precaution because we don't want to be just wasting money on these managers and buying out their contracts and again and again and again and again, repeating the cycle every 2 years. So it was a smart move this time.
And also, I know you said Marquinhos. Are you definitely against the idea of Upamecano in the summer? Obviously, we release clause of around 40 million.
To be honest, I wouldn't say that I'm totally against it, but I would prefer a centre back more like Marquinhos, Jimenez from Atletico Madrid, because we want someone who's been there, done that, man, been in the big Champions League games, been in the big games, not another inexperienced young player who's still got mistakes in him, like we've seen with our squad too many times this season, man. We've seen it in the big games. These guys haven't got the experience to make the right decisions in the big games. And we just need someone to solidify the team. We saw what Thiago Silva's done for our team. We saw what Cavani's done for Man United. The plus 30 thing, it doesn't mean nothing. If you're 27, you're in the prime of your career, you can still go for another 6-7 years and be a big boost to a team, man. So I think this is the caliber of centre-back that we have to be looking at this summer, not someone that hasn't got too much experience there. He's got a lot of potential, because I think we just got too much of that in our squad right now, especially with the likes of Gurhi and Mbiyamba and everyone that's still coming through. I think it's best that we go with someone who's solid.
Well said. Well said. Younes, who do you think will be captain? Just a guess, of course. And also, what is your thoughts on Mason Mount being future captain?
I think Thiago Silva gets the armband immediately. Obviously, he's played under Tuchel and will know exactly what Tuchel's all about, and I think can translate that onto the pitch and help the lads out. So, obviously, I hope his English is good and it's getting better, because if that's the case, then great. If not, Azuma or someone might have to translate mid-game. But if that happens, then great. In regards to Mason Mount, it's going to be interesting with Mason Mount, because, as I've said already, we've got a lot of midfield options. And the one attribute that I think will help him with Tuchel at the helm is how much intensity he has and how much energy he has, because Tuchel needs that in his system. Yeah. Now, whether he can adapt himself and be able to play with the way that Tuchel's asking for in terms of his technical ability, we'll see. We'll see. But if he's a regular and if he stays and he can, keep himself in the side, then yeah, in the future, absolutely. I reckon he does have what it takes to be a potential captain. Maybe is someone as similar like Lamps was, who wasn't the big talker on the pitch, but done it, was a leader by action, a leader with what he was showing rather than what he was saying. So, it could be, but there's no guarantee he gets into Tuchel's team. No guarantee. So we'll see what happens under Tuchel first.
Yeah. Just the last question that we'll answer very quickly. It's going to be a prediction, of course. Ads, we'll start with you. Front three, or you can change it out with the 2-2 behind instead. Who do you think will be starting?
No, if we are going for a front three, and my preference would be Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi and Werner. And just Hudson-Odoi over Pulisic, just on recent form and the fact that he deserves to play. I hope Tuchel's seen this and he's heard from Anthony Barry and Joe Edwards, like, look, this kid's been on good form. He hasn't really had his chance. He deserves to play. Pulisic hasn't been in the best of form. But then again, with the whole connection that Pulisic and Tuchel have, you never know. But me, speaking from my preference, I would put Hudson-Odoi in there, man. He deserves it. He deserves a shot in these Premier League games, especially from the left-hand side. Him and Ziyech have a good connection when they played with each other, switching the balls to one another. And Ziyech, I want to see him creating more from the middle today, not just hugging the touchline, not just standing there and linking up with Reece James so he can put a cross into the box. I want to see him picking the ball up from different positions, creating from the centre, having shots on, linking up with the striker, not just doing the same that we've seen all season, because this is not the Ziyech that we know and we love. So, and then with Werner, we just got to get him back on form, man. Hopefully Tuchel does it, man. The thing is with Werner, I'm not 100% sure if he would play because of Tammy's hat-trick on the weekend. I don't know if Tuchel will let him carry on with his form, but we'll have to see about that. But if it was me, I'd start Werner to try to get his form going again.
Yeah. Younes, what's your take prediction for the front three or different formation?
I mean, if Pulisic's fit, then he starts for sure because of history. And, I know Tuchel can rely on him because he knows exactly what's going to be asked of him. He knows exactly how Tuchel likes to do things. So I expect Pulisic to start. I think Ziyech will start, and I think Werner will start. But if Pulisic's not fit, then absolutely Hudson-Odoi will be on that left-hand side.
Yeah,
definitely one of those front three, whether it's Pulisic or Hudson-Odoi. But Werner and Ziyech on the right-hand side, I think, is a guarantee.
yeah. Kante's out, right, for this game?
Yeah, he's still out. He's still out. I think he is anyway. If he's back, then I'm shocked. But I think he's still out.
Yeah, quick donation here. Thank you, Matthias. Werner, Havertz up top, 4-2-2-2. I think we're going to be seeing that throughout the season. I don't think we'll see it today. You guys agree with that?
I think we'll see them both start today. I don't think we'll necessarily see it like that. I do think we'll see it start today, and I hope Havertz is just given the freedom to go higher up the pitch. But as Tuchel says, man, he bases his style of play against the opposition that he's playing against. So we need hopefully he can get it right. He's seen enough, and the coaches have told him enough. And yeah, man, it's just with Havertz, he just needs to up his intensity, man. He just needs to up his intensity because he looks too lackluster on the ball. He gets caught out in possession sometimes, which leads to quick transitions from the other team, which leads to a shot on target, and we don't want to be seeing that anymore, man. But yeah, hopefully we can see an improvement.
I don't want to see him deep in midfield anymore. I just want to see him in that number 10 kind of place. If you know what I mean. I saw him coming deep too much. He was too, not lazy, but he was just, giving the ball away, man.
Yeah.
Like he just didn't look comfortable there, in my opinion. So hopefully he's a lot more in the number 10, man. Guys, listen, it's a pleasure. Thank you for coming on to the stream. Younes, I know you're a very, very busy man. So we were trying to deal with it yesterday, trying to get you on yesterday and the day before.
That was impossible.
It was crazy. Impossible. It was crazy.
But yeah, it was sick today. It was good. And obviously, it's with looking into the game later on, it's, definitely a lot of insight. Very, very fun. So thank you, man.
100%, man. Guys, I'm sure many of you lot probably already subscribed to him, but if you haven't, you can click in the title, go to his channel. He does watch-alongs for the game as well, so if you want to watch the game with him, go do that as well. If you haven't already on my video, like the video, subscribe if you're new here, hit the notification, and ads. Thanks for coming on. Hopefully, you come on tonight as well, straight after the game, man. Yeah, guys, take care all the best.